Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and today, day trading, I made $5,500, which is right on my average for the month, so pretty decent day overall. Now, there were definitely a ton of opportunities today, but a lot of them were in listed stocks like CEI and FAMI, so I'll get into that in a second, but I'm still not really that comfortable taking big size and listed stocks, so for me, I was just, trading with feeler size and more just trying to practice on them, honestly. But wow, I mean, they're just so insane right now. Again, big shout out to Bob. He's absolutely killing it on CEI and giving some great reads on it for us. So, just absolutely insane how well he's trading CEI, and a lot of us are banking on it in the Discord. Me personally, I really am not making that much on CEI. I think I actually am negative on CEI today, even though it had a crazy run, but there were so many opportunities, guys. So I want to personally talk about this stock, what I expect out of it in the near future, and then some of the other OTC setups that I've been trading and where I made, my $5,000 today. So I want to talk about all that stuff. Hopefully you'll learn something from this video. If you find it helpful, please drop a thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have no live trading for you today, no recordings, but should be able to run through the video at least a little bit quicker because of that. So let's talk on my laptop and talk about these stocks. All right, guys, so this is the chart for CEI intraday today, and it was absolutely crazy. You could tell just by the range. I mean, the range, the volume, the liquidity on this thing is just out of this world. So you can see, guys, it ran from pretty much $3, topped out just under $5 here at, I guess, 486. Had a crazy seller here. I think someone sold like 2 million shares market or something, which caused a big sell-off, triggered a lot of stop losses here, and it went into a down halt for 10 minutes, reopened, went even lower, went into another down halt, gap down, and then ended up almost down halting again, but it didn't, and then it went into an up halt here. Just crazy volatility. Ended up going into another down halt, and then finally found a bottom here in the low 290s, and then went into an up halt again, and then from there it's just been grinding up in, I guess, after hours, not pre-market, in after hours. And if you look on the daily chart for this thing, guys, it's so freaking nuts. Just to give you an idea of how wild this thing is, it's so wild. Like, you get this nice breakout here, and you get 5 massive green days. 5 massive green days. Today was obviously the biggest by far, and this is one where it's like, typically when you get a below the top off day like this, it is the top. It is the top. It's coming back down. This thing's going under 2. It's game over. But on this might just turn into a Wall Street Bets type of thing, guys, which is why it's so freaking insane. Now, apparently, there was some fake $150 million offering. The CEO confirmed on Twitter that it was fake, and supposedly that came out right around here. Supposedly that's what caused this dump. And there's a lot of people on Twitter who were like, ooh, let's stick it to the shorts now because they were trying to, fake this thing and, make it dump. And I think, honestly, it's pretty sketchy of someone to put out fake short report, like fake offerings just to short the stock. I mean, if you're gonna short a stock, do it based on the natural price action. Don't put out fake news. That's pretty lame. But that could cause this thing to go just into the world's biggest short squeeze. Now, looking at it right now, it's gapping up a lot, man. I mean, it closed at 330s, and it's over 4 right now. So if it doesn't do anything but go sideways in pre-market, this thing is gonna gap up big. Now, we got to be watching this key level, guys, because if this gets back over 5 by tomorrow, oh my gosh, we could really see a crazy squeeze. Like, this thing could go like insane. Like, it could run like 70% plus in a day. I wouldn't be surprised if it can break 5 if this thing goes to, $8, $9, or $10. $10 is Zach Morris's price target, so I would assume it tops out before then because people are gonna try to undercut, try to, I guess, what is the word? Sell. It's like a rush to get out. So like, everyone's selling at 10. I'm gonna sell at $9.99, etc. And it kind of works its way down. I think that's part of why it topped out before 5 here today. But I think we could see $9 if this thing actually breaks over 5 and goes into a crazy squeeze. Because this is just such a big short trap, guys. You get a lot of shorts in here who maybe get too comfortable overnight, and they wake up to a massive gap up on this thing. They're covering, they're panicking, and it's crazy, guys. It really is crazy. So I don't know what this thing does, but there's gonna be a lot of opportunities. If this thing actually can go to $10, I'm gonna have to short some of it. I really will. So I'm hoping we get one more explosive day. That would make me so happy. Just an absolutely insane day. Statistics are in favor of this thing having a red day tomorrow, honestly, you know, maybe it gaps up, obviously, because it's up so much, but then maybe it just fades off ugly and goes under 3. That is a very distinct possibility, so I'm not, you know, counting that one out. For me, the only play on this would be a short if it can get, you know, to that probably like $8 or $9 level, and potentially a long if it can actually hold over $5. I would consider longing it just for the lulls and to see if we can get a big squeeze on this one. So that is that CEI. It's going to be an insane play. Bob's going to be calling some scalps on it all day long. So if you're in the Discord, listen to that man. He knows what he's talking about. Let's go to, what is it? FEMI. That is not a ticker. All right, I gotta find it real quick, guys. I was trading it. Give me 10 seconds. FAMI, that's what it was. Sorry, I'm tripping. FAMI, not FEMI. So this is one that I actually had on my radar, unfortunately, a while back, and I didn't think much of it. And someone on Twitter called it out, man. I could have gotten in here at like 21, 20, 22 max, and it's now at 34. And this thing feels like it's just getting started, so you got to watch this one. In after hours, it ran even higher. I mean, that's just a crazy rip from 32 all the way up to 40. Just looked really nice, guys. So this is one that you want to keep an eye on because this is a great setup. And if it turns into another, you know, Wall Street bets type play or Zach Morris bets type play, it could really go insane. So, you know, based on this chart, it was really beaten down. It hasn't even filled the gap yet. I guess technically in after hours it filled the gap, but I mean, it could go for a breakout, and if it goes absolutely insane, guys, it could go to $1. Who knows? I don't expect it to go that far, but you know, just a couple of cents here. If you get 5,000, 10,000 shares, that's still good money. So I'm probably just gonna be scalping this one, but should be pretty interesting. I wish I had gotten in on a swing trade, you know, down here, because that was pretty much a gimme at that point. But you know, you live and you learn. There's one that I want to talk about. I also have to find that one. Yeah, so VKIN, guys, this is one, it's pretty wild. So apparently this is a subsidiary of CEI. And because of that, you know, it should be running with CEI. It kind of fell behind, but today it just had the most insane chart. It reminds me a lot of FDVRF with how that one went. But you can see just intraday, this thing was just so freaking insane. I mean, it just went absolutely nuts. And I found it right here, and I didn't want to short it at 341. I was a little late, and it ended up dumping over $1 a share. So I wish I had done it, you know, I wish I had caught it, but I didn't. Now, this thing, honestly, for me is on big watch, because if CEI ends up running tomorrow, you know, and goes crazy, this thing should at least attempt to break these highs. It should be at least bullish. You know, if we get a massive gap up on CEI, this is OTC, it doesn't trade after hours. So this thing's probably gonna be running it open, I would have to guess. So this could be, you know, a good potential option for someone like me who doesn't like listed stocks but wants to take advantage of the CEI hype. So keep that in mind, guys. Another stock, BCAUY. This is one random stock that always spikes up for no damn reason. Like if you go look at the chart, for no reason it'll go and then it'll die. It'll just fade off. So I mean, if you caught a short on this thing, oh my gosh. I mean, literally out of nowhere, this thing ran from $4 over $8. And then it just came crashing back down. And then it just faded the rest of the day. I know this was on our radar a little bit ago, but I mean, you can see here, guys, it's just, I mean, it's literally, it's one of the strangest charts I think I've ever seen. Like, it's just so incredibly sketchy. Like, very little volume, but like, look at these days, guys. Just crazy wicks on this thing. It's, I mean, what is that chart? That is like the most manipulated thing, I swear. It's literally like a soup bowl. Like, I could grab this little handle right here and be like, I guess, no, that's like a dipper. Like the Big Dipper, that's what it is, yeah. So, I mean, it's just a wild chart. This is one you want to keep an eye on, guys. I just want to throw that out there because it's a crazy chart, and every once in a while it'll run. So, you know, maybe it's worth picking up shares if it bases again somewhere like this, just because it's wild. It's wild. Let's see. AVOI, guys. This was the most insane intraday run that I have ever seen in my life on an OTC stock. Out of nowhere. I don't know why. Supposedly someone on Investors Hub said they won their lawsuit against Apple, potentially. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it's just a rumor, but there was insane buying volume out of nowhere. You can see not a single share of this stock traded all day long until randomly, right here, it just took off. I mean, it just absolutely exploded. It ran from literally 1.5 cents all the way up to 45 cents. And unfortunately, I was not watching this thing. I didn't get it until like here. I tried to chase, could not get filled any with small size. And you know, I just missed out on this run. This was on my scanners. It came up like, I think like right here, man. I mean, I caught it. I should have caught it like right here. Tran was calling it out in the Discord. I just missed it, bro. And this thing just absolutely ripped. I mean, there was some serious volume on this thing too. Like, I think like 100,000 shares printed up here, like above 40 cents. I don't know if it was 45 cents or what, but I mean, it was wild. Like, just ridiculous run. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen bids like that strong. I don't know if it was an algorithmic thing, like something just went wrong with market makers. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty insane. I don't know if it was a chat room pump. Seriously, could have been anything. But you know, moral of the story is when you catch these early, it can pay to chase. But if you see a chart that looks like this, guys, you know, well, I guess now that it's wicked, you know, whatever. But if you see a chart, I mean, it hadn't wicked at this point. It was literally straight up from 1.5 cents to 45 cents at that point. And when you see a chart like that, it's just no longer worth it to buy. Like, I've seen these things run pretty far. So, you know, if I see a chart that looks like this, I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'll take some small size. If it keeps running, okay, great. You know, whatever. It's great. If it dumps, all right, I lose a little bit. It's fine. When you get a chart that looks like this, like all the way up here, it's just not worth it anymore, guys. And unfortunately, we had someone in our Discord take a loss on this. I got to give you a shout out, man. And, you know, this is something that a lot of us can learn from. So when you see a chart like this, you do not want to buy at all because statistically, it's not worth it. You know, if you buy here at 45, how much higher could it run, right? I mean, I did see $1 on the level 2, so maybe it ran to $1, but the odds are just so against you. If you buy on a chart that looks like this, it is going to dump on you 999 times out of 1,000. And that's just not odds that you ever want to take. So that's kind of the first thing. The second thing is beware of your position sizing because, you know, when I'm trading stocks in the 20 cent range, 30 cent range, I like to buy in 10,000 share lots. But if you buy a 10,000 share lot on a stock like this, every penny it drops, that's $100 you lose. And something that ran up this fast can dump 20 cents like that. And that's $2,000 you just lost because you weren't thinking about the position sizing. So if I were buying on something like this, I'd probably buy like 1,000 shares, man. That way, if it runs to 30 from 20, all right, I just made $100. That's fine by me. If it dumps from, you know, from 20 to 10, all right, I lost $100. It stinks, you know, whatever. But it's not like account changing type of stuff when it's that overextended. So I just had to talk about AVOI. Just a crazy chart, man. It tried to bounce, but it couldn't, man. I really would love to know behind the scenes what causes. If anyone knows anything else, please drop a comment down below and let me know why this thing ran. Pretty crazy. Let's see, ILUS, guys, there were some nice dip buys on this today. It pretty much just spent the whole day like just stuck in a channel going back and forth, you know, just kind of consolidating. So I'm not sure what I think on this one. I think if it starts cracking and actually cracks hard, we could see a pretty big red day again. I'd like to see it hold ideally and head higher, but you know, if it wants to crack, I will be shorting ILUS and then I will be dip buying it. And you know, that's just that. So I have zero bias on this thing. I don't really care what it, I mean, I guess I technically have a long bias. I'd prefer that it goes higher, but you know, it's gonna be easier overall, probably for me to make money if there's a big panic that I can short and then a nice dip buy for bounce versus like a breakout here, because it's kind of choppy in these levels. But you know, it's overextended, guys. It's up a lot, so can it keep running? Absolutely, but there's absolutely no guarantees on this one. And after a run like this, I'm certainly I'm not holding any shares personally right now. I gotta let it, you know, figure out what it wants to do. CYBL, this one still went higher, guys. Closed pretty strong. If I go to the intraday chart, you can kind of see it was in kind of like this wedge all day long. Pretty much every time it dipped, I was picking up shares right near this area, just risking here. You know, it was just pretty easy, man, pretty easy. And unfortunately, I sold too soon a lot of times. I was waiting to see if it could break out past 6.5. There was a lot of market makers on the ask. I mean, I think there were like 6 market makers, a lot of 500K plus orders. So would have taken a lot to break that, but I know it could have done it, and potentially it gaps up over this and keeps running. I think it's gapped up like pretty much every single day if you look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's gapped up like all these days pretty much. I think for the most part, like starting here, it's gapped up like pretty much every single day. So if it gaps down, that could be a trend change. Someone mentioned that in Sykes chat. I gotta give them the shout out. But I feel like it could dump if it gaps down. But that being said, it closed strong, and I'd love for this to run even higher. I will ride that breakout as high as it wants to go. If it wants to top out and start panicking, that would also be epic. I would look for a great dip buy. This thing has great dip buys, has amazing bounces. I really like this stock, and that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I'm looking for on CYBL. FERN, this one also, guys, also run it, also still going, pretty insane, and just an epic breakout chart. My entry was right here. I can zoom in a little bit. It had a beautiful wedge right here. If I draw the lines, you guys can see just a really nice clean wedge. Pretty standard entry on there. So I bought right there. Unfortunately, I wasn't super patient on this one. I sold, I think here, and I think I sold a little more on this dip here, and it did end up running even higher after that. Had some nice consolidation, kind of the rest of the day here, and it was pretty nice, man. It was pretty nice. Still holding, still closed strong, so this could go higher. I'm going to be looking for panic dip buys on this one, and continuing to trade the breakouts as it continues to be strong. So FERN, that's a great one. FCGD, I guess this one actually closed pretty weak. That's kind of wild. I may need to add some more of this one. I was up pretty nicely on this one. I think from these peaks here, yeah, I'm down 1,800 from these peaks because I have 2 million shares, so pretty wild. Didn't expect it to dip like that on this day when it was this strong, but I'm fine with that, man. I mean, if it wants to find a base and go high, I'll add more. I really will. I'm pretty sure when the merger comes out, it's going higher than this. So I'm still up nicely on it, still up 1,700, but I'd like to get some more. FBCD, the opposite. I bought some on this dip here. I added today. KRFG, I also added this one today. It may end up going lower. I'm not sure. I got a lot of shares of this now. If it dips a lot, I'll just buy a lot more. So I'm honestly fine with that. I'm really not too worried. Let's see, what else? What else? VGLS, this was actually a nice swing trade, guys. I forgot I had some of this, but it had really nice basing in here. And, did make a higher high. Kind of got stuffed a little bit, but I sold some of the shares I had. I still have some. If it wants to keep going, we'll see what happens. If not, I'll pick some more up towards this base. Let's see. IFAN, this was crazy. This had a crazy dip, and there was like a random time in here. I guess you can't really tell. It dumped. It happened right here. It dumped, and I mean, there was a market maker selling shares at 423, I think, and I bought as many shares as I could get. I think I only got like 80,000 shares, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's like 80,000. But I bought as many as I could buy right here. And then they immediately pulled that and put a bid at like, I think it might have been like 455 or something like that. So I sold instantly for like 300 bucks profit. I love when market makers get like all confused like that. Again, if you ever see that happen, like there's a huge panic, there's a big gap in the ask on the level 2, and there's a market maker right there. And after that, it's just a big gap. It's such a high odds play. I'll buy those all day, every day, man. I will buy those until my dying day. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. MDCE, I'm mad on this one, guys. I loaded some more. I think like right here, I loaded some more. And then I forgot, I had bids before because it had broken down before. This thing dumped hard. I'm not worried about it at all. And I have a lot of shares now. I have 250,000 shares. Well, I guess it's not that many. I know people with millions and millions. But I'm just mad because I had bids at like 1.5, and instead I was buying here. I canceled those bids like 2 days ago because if you look here, it wicked here. I had bids at like somewhere in this area for a while, and it never dipped down again to those levels. So I kind of gave up on it. And then today, obviously, someone gets bored. They market sell their whole position, and it dumps crazily. A lot of my friends got filled at like 1.3. So I'm kind of pissed off on that one. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I'm still gonna be loading this one. Not worried about that at all. MITI, this is just insane, bro. People are they're just still dumping this. It's crazy, man. I still like it at this price. I have no idea where the base is gonna be, guys. I really don't know. I don't know if it holds 25. It may hold 25. It may go back to 20. I have no idea. All I know is I have a lot of shares right now. I have over 400,000 shares. This is my favorite long-term company, despite how ugly this chart looks, guys. You know, it looks ugly right now. We've had like 50 straight red days. I was up over 8,000 here, just on the shares that I bought like right here. But I believe in this company, and I think it's going well over 60, so I didn't sell any right here. And now on those shares, I am down almost $12,000. Pretty wild. But again, you know, we had a period here where this thing dumped from 39 cents, and it felt like it was fading every day for like months and months, like 5 months, 6 months straight. And then in, you know, 5 days, we go over 100%. So I'm really not worried about it. I'm not about to miss 100% run. I believe in this company. I believe in the management. There's actually a key piece of DD that I wanna briefly mention. Yeah, so they actually just updated their securities counsel. This is something that literally just popped up today. And if you go do the research on this, this is a company that is like, they specialize, do the research on them, guys, but basically they specialize in uplisting companies from OTC to better listing platforms. You know, you can do the research on them, but MITI literally just updated these. I'm really not worried about MITI at all in the long term. I know the chart is ugly right now, but I still believe so strongly in this company. Just wanted to share this, you know, key little tidbit with you guys. Shout out to one of the other Discords that I'm in, one of the MITI Discord. Pretty epic, man. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to this. I really am. I am only upset because I don't have more money to buy MITI at these prices, honestly. That is the main reason I'm upset. So it's going to be an exciting run when it happens. And, you know, I will be banking big when it does. And until then, I'm gonna sit on my shares because I got plenty of other money to day trade stocks with, and I'm gonna keep making money every day. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you know the drill. Let's grow better together. Bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.